What is a home? I could easily give you an Oxford definition, but how does that help? For all of us here, home is a completely different and unique place. Home may not even be a physical location, but a feeling that you get when you're with specific people. Home is in many ways your comfort zone, a place where you can run around naked or scream the lyrics of a Hannah Montana song. Home is a place you feel like yourself. Home is a place free of judgment. Home is a place filled with unconditional love and acceptance. Home is where the heart is. Now, I want you all to think of one place where you feel the most at home. What does this place look like, smell like? Who's there? What's there? For me, home is not defined as one single building with one postal code and an address. Home is different cities, different friends, and in many ways, a different me. To understand what I'm getting at, we have to rewind to May 16th, 2000, the day I was born. I was born in a small town 2.5 hours away from here called Sarnia. This was my first home. I was welcomed by my amazing mother and father and a loving older sister, and then later joined by a pain-in-my-butt younger sister. My life in Sarnia was the only thing I knew. Every day after school, I would hang out with my best friend, get banana popsicles at the same convenience store, and return every year to the same school. Sarnia was my home, and I had a routine. This was until 2010, when my family made the decision to move to Oakville, Ontario, a city I didn't even know existed. I remember the day my parents told us we were moving. I had never moved a day in my life, not even to a different house, and now I would be living 254 kilometers away from my home. And the worst part was, my dad wasn't moving with us. Because of work, he had to stay behind. So my whole definition of home was being reinvented. Now fast forward past moving boxes and a handful of meltdowns to my first day of grade 5. A whole new school in a whole new city with all new people. I vividly remember that day. I wore a big hoodie to cover up my tears and walked into my grade 5 portable. I remember watching returning students hugging old friends and laughing about inside jokes that I had no part in. I took a seat closest to the teacher and began counting down the seconds until the end of the day. To an outsider, I probably looked like I had no interest in making any friends. I mean, that's what I would think too. But on the inside, all I wanted was one person, anyone to reach out. One person to make this new, different, uncomfortable place feel like a home. As the students started to take their seats, one girl sat right beside me. She didn't say anything special, and she wasn't doing it so that everyone could see. She was simply doing it because she somehow knew that that's what I needed. This act of kindness turned one of the most miserable days into a not-so-bad day. Now, I'm happy to say that moving to Oakville was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I made some of my best friends in that grade 5 portable, and it was all because of one compassionate individual who decided to extend a hand to someone who needed it. Moving to a new school is terrifying, in many ways. Leaving behind old friends to make new ones is never a simple task. But all it takes is someone to strike up a conversation or sit beside you in class. This is obviously much easier said than done. It takes a confident person to be able to reach out and extend a hand. I have never been someone outgoing. In fact, I would consider myself to be 100% introverted. As much as I love my time surrounded by energetic people, I need my time to recharge. I'm never the person to be seen surrounded by a group of people cracking a joke or someone whose phone is always blowing up, but I love my friends and I love making new ones. I've always looked up to the people who could speak with ease in front of a crowd, and I've always associated these people with tremendous amounts of confidence, which is still something that I'm trying to gain. I know many of you here may be feeling the same way, especially at the beginning of a new school year. Maybe it's a new class with a new teacher and you don't feel as confident as you could. Or maybe you're a new student just moving to this school. There are 1,000 ways that the beginning of the school year can knock you down, strip away your confidence, therefore making you feel less at home. These moments of your life may make you feel as though the world is against you. They'll push you around, and knock you to your knees, but you need to understand that these are the moments that you will learn and grow the most. Believing in yourself is crazy hard, which makes helping others believe in themselves even harder. It's so easy to be distracted by your own discomfort that you don't realize anyone else's. So, in these moments when you feel like less of yourself, remember to take a step back. Appreciate yourself for who you are. Life here is so busy, and it's so simple to forget. By doing this, you'll be able to help others find their own confidence through allowing yours to shine out. As some of you know, the theme this week in chapel is home. To honor the idea of home, we brought in a couch. We have and will hear stories about different individuals' definitions of home, and the chapel wardens and I will try our best to make you all feel at home, not only during this week, but for the rest of the school year. One of the biggest goals that I had coming into this year was to create an environment where each student, teacher, staff, or visitor felt welcomed and comfortable. And I really lucked out getting a chapel team who shared the same vision. I know that for some of you, chapel may be a completely new and different experience. I know that in this huge, beautiful building, it can sometimes be intimidating, which is why the wardens and myself want to welcome you with open arms so that you can all enjoy it as much as we do. This idea is also applied to the school as a whole. Community plays one of the most important roles at Appleby. For many of you, I'm sure that you have felt one point in your Appleby career the warm sense of belonging. Appleby is home in so many ways, whether it be the feeling of comfort you get when you're with your friends or the love you feel by your teammates during a game. These are the feelings which qualify you to feel at home. For all the new students here today, if you haven't already gotten that vibe, I guarantee you will soon. And if you're sitting in the congregation thinking, yeah, right, still experiencing those first month jitters, I'd like to share with you yet another story. But this is the last one, I promise. Though I have just preached to you how much Appleby is home, for me, it wasn't always that way. So let's rewind to the prime days of braces and silly bands, grade 8. There was an ad in the newspaper which showed the amazing school life of Appleby College. Not really thinking about it, my mom and I sent in an application, went through a tour of the campus, and I attended what I thought was the most dreadful shadow day. Like I said before, I'm not the outgoing type who loves the spotlight, nor do I love being labeled the new girl. I never really thought I would actually be going to this school, so I left a less than stellar impression on my shadow buddy by staying quiet and many times pretending not to hear her questions so that I wouldn't have to speak. Appleby was the farthest place from home. There were no familiar faces or recognizable smells. Appleby was simply a location, and that's it. I never thought I would actually end up here as a student, and to be very honest, I didn't really want to. By the time my first day came around, I had already been through the exact same experience as moving from Sarnia to Oakville. A lot of tears and a lot of arguments. My first day of the school was very honestly one of the harder days in my life. I didn't yet have my amazing friends. I couldn't understand the difference between clubs and co-curriculars, and it honestly took me a month before I could truly understand what OneNote was. I hated that I was away from my middle school friends. I hated finding a seat in the dining hall, but most of all, I hated the lack of confidence I had being in this new, uncomfortable place. I cried every night for at least 2 weeks, begging my parents to switch schools. I remember one night, my mom came in my room and she said, "I'll make you a deal. Give it 2 more weeks, and if you still feel the same way, we can switch you." Those 2 weeks couldn't come by fast enough. For the first few days, I refused to make any friends, but that quickly backfired due to the incredible community here at Appleby. As time went by, I started to forget about the deal that I made with my mom. I met new faces, grew to love every bit that the school had to offer, and gained a new ounce of confidence every day. Appleby slowly became more than an address. At this point of the school year, especially for new students, Appleby may feel like the furthest place from home, and for some of you, it physically is. I don't know of a magic button to fast forward past the long, painful beginning stages, nor am I able to confidently say that you will end up feeling the exact same way I do now. But I do know that a huge part of home is the people. Everything comes down to the people and the attitudes we each give off. The way we treat each other contributes to making this place our home. You don't need to be the most confident person in the room, nor do you have to get along with all 771 students at this school. But you do need to play your part in making this place a home. This might be as small as lending someone a laptop charger, or as nice as inviting someone to sit with you at lunch. No matter what it is, the way we treat others will reflect directly back on us, making this experience even better. For all my fellow Senior 2s, we have exactly 275 days to continue making this place our home. We will soon be off to a new beginning and a new place that we can call home. So for now, let's take it all in. Appreciate every day, because as much as you may hate your calc homework or your extra credit reading, those 275 days will go by in the blink of an eye, and you don't want to be left wishing that you had done more. And for all the upper 2s, you have the ability to make great changes here. You still have 2 short years to make your mark, meet new people, and allow others to feel at home in your presence. So talk to someone you rarely talk to. Make yourself less of a stranger. These are the people that will get you through your Trebetskoy essays and the hard sports practices. Don't waste the time you have, because it goes by far too fast, trust me. And so now, I ask you again, what is home? Home for me is my family, my friends, my bed. Home is my cap, my goggles, and my swimming pool. Home is Sarnia and Oakville and Appleby and this chapel. Home is listening to the Walker girls sing High School Musical until 10 o'clock at night. Home is my nunno's pasta and my dad's stupid nicknames. Home is sweatpants and sweatshirts and my hair in a bun. Home is a place where I feel accepted even on my worst days. Home is a place where I know that no matter what, I will always be greeted with love. Home is not just one, but many locations, faces, and feelings. And so, I would like to make a goal for myself, and anyone else who feels like they can even mildly relate to what I've just said. The goal is to reach out to someone new, whether it be a new or returning student. Flash a smile in a hallway, or give someone a compliment. Do whatever you can to make yourself less of a stranger and make others feel more at home. Lastly, be open to meeting new people. As much as others can reach out, you have to be able to let them in. Don't miss out on an opportunity to expand your friend group, because you can never have too many of them. Who knows what you'll get out of these simple acts of kindness? All I know is that you will always be benefiting. As they say, it takes hands to build a house, but only hearts can build a home. Can you please stand and sing hymn number 662?